Okay, back at you with another update. So what's been happening this past week? Well, obviously we've had Jerome Powell talking about how we're probably going to have some rate cuts soon, which is good. And obviously we've had Ethereum rallying towards the all-time highs because of that. And it did get rejected from the all-time high, okay? So now we're just currently battling the all-time high. And what seems to have happened, you see, is Ethereum's got to the all-time high and then somebody's dumped Bitcoin, like a big whale has dumped thousands of Bitcoins, and this is what has caused all the liquidations from Bitcoin and Ethereum, and this is why the market's crashed a little bit. Okay, that's why we're in the red right now, is because a Bitcoin whale sold a bunch of Bitcoin, caused liquidations. Ethereum got rejected from the all-time high because of that. But why is a whale selling Bitcoin when Ethereum hits all-time high? It's kind of a weird coincidence, right? As soon as Ethereum crosses the all-time high, you get a whale taking a bunch of profits from Bitcoin. What do you think that could be, right? It's just speculation, but everybody knows that this is how it generally works. Is Bitcoin moves up first. Obviously Bitcoin's way higher than it was in 2021, right? We're almost double from where it was in 2021, right? I think we're going to get to double. I think we're going to go up to this red line somewhere, probably. This is how it works, right? Bitcoin goes first, which obviously it has done. It's way higher than it was the previous cycle, okay? People take profits from Bitcoin, they dump it into Ethereum, and now Ethereum's approaching the all-time high. So that leads me to believe the whales are starting to rotate from Bitcoin and they're getting ready to dump it into altcoins. Okay, that's what I think is happening. It's just speculation, but this is what's happened in the previous cycles. Okay, so it looks like it could be starting to happen now. Bitcoin dominance is tanking. Okay, so we're under 60% right now. It's dropped quite a bit. It's kind of down in this support range over here. If we're going to continue lower here, okay, this is just, it's looking really good for the altcoin season, right? It's definitely looking like Q4 this year in the winter, when everybody's done with the summer and they're indoors more often in the winter. Generally, people spend more time looking into crypto, right? Like all the casuals, you know, they'll come in the winter when they're at home more and they'll look into investing, right? Like they're not interested in the summer. Like a lot of us here, we're interested in it all the time, but a lot of the normies and stuff, they only, you know, they're kind of periodic, right? But yeah, this is looking pretty good to me. And then we're going to get rate cuts. Maybe Bitcoin's going to move up. Again, I think Bitcoin can go higher. I think it can go up here towards these resistance lines up here. This yellow resistance line and this red resistance line. I think we can come up here somewhere 130, 40, 50,000. I think that's probably going to be the next leg up and possibly the last leg up of this cycle. That's if there is a big crash at the end of it. It might not be that way now with the ETFs and everything, who knows. But that's a potential top in my eyes. So yeah, once we get rate cuts and everything in the winter, when more investors are interested in investing, yeah, I think we can push higher on Bitcoin. People are rotating into Ethereum, and it's going to go, you know, to Solana. It's going to go down all these coins. And as you may know, meme coins are the most popular narrative this cycle by far. Meme coins are basically taking over the space, right? So a lot of this money is going to end up in meme coins, because when retail comes in, you've got all the institutions and the big players loading up on these high caps, and then you've got retail coming in. All of us regular folks like me and you, we come in and we're looking at the meme coins because we know that the big caps, we're not going to get huge gains off of that. And if you're in crypto, you're probably in crypto for the huge gains. Meme coins offer that. So retail FOMOs into the meme coins, okay? And this is why I'm betting on COCORO. Like I said in my previous videos, I'm all in on this one now. And this is basically just a high risk bet, right? It's a leveraged bet on the market. So I think that if Bitcoin's going to go higher, we're going to get an altcoin season. This is the best low cap meme coin that I can find, right? And it's really cheap right now. And this is a calculated risk I'm taking, basically. If it works out, I can probably buy a house, okay? So this is pretty much the goal. If this works out, I'm going to buy a house. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to lose a bunch of money, right? But I'm willing to take that risk. It's worth it for me. And again, this is calculated risk. This is the best meme coin that I can find. All the signs are there for this to work out. To be honest, I never thought I'd see it down this price again, because my average now is about 15 million market cap, somewhere around here, which obviously this could burst through really quick, because on meme coins you get these violent candles. They just send to the upside so fast, right? So you can break through there quick. But I do kind of wish that I waited a little bit longer, right? Because I bought in over here at first on this dip, and then on this, when it started crash in here when there was the war FUD. You know, I kind of cut my loss, and then I bought back in at the bottom, and then I cut it here on the pump, and then started buying back in the bottom down here. So I did some like market gymnastics to get my average down, basically. But man, I wish I just waited, to be honest. But the thing is, up here, it did look like there was a chance that it could send. And, you know, I just wanted to get into it, because if you compare this to Nero, obviously this is the sister dog to Nero, which is the sister dog to Doge, right? There's Nero and this one, COCORO, which are the sister dogs to Dogecoin. So that's obviously an amazing narrative. And yeah, Nero obviously did this, right? So it kind of looked somewhat similar to the COCORO chart. Obviously not exactly the same, but it was a low down. It was in similar market cap sizes to COCORO, right down below 30 million or so. And when it was at about 15 million, it had just a giant green candle, right, which sent it straight up to 150 million, and then 400 million, 600 million, a billion, 1.4 billion. So yeah, I just wanted to get into COCORO because it could pull something like that. If it randomly got listed on Binance like this did, then COCORO could have done this. So anybody could do it at any point. So I just want to be in it, really, because I think there's a high chance of something similar to this happening. Maybe it's not going to look exactly like this, obviously, but I think there's a high chance of something similar to this happening, right? Because the signs are all there. And this is what happened to Nero, is Nero got listed on HTX somewhere around here. So there was a big dip down here, like a big wick down, and then it got listed on HTX on that big wick down, okay? And then it bounced back up again, and then not long after that it got listed on Binance. So yeah, we could definitely see something similar for COCORO. And HTX listed, by the way, on the 7th of September last year. So we're getting pretty close to this date now. Obviously, that's in like a couple of weeks. So it's possible that they could do some sort of like marketing campaign where they have like the anniversary of Nero, and then they list COCORO on the anniversary of Nero on that date. Yeah, as like a marketing campaign sort of thing. Maybe just speculation, but could be a thing that they do. You never know. They see like exchanges do things like that. So obviously all of the signs are there for this to get listed on HTX. They're probably just waiting for the right moment. Like for example, after ETH breaks all-time high, because if they listed before and Ethereum got rejected from the all-time high, and then they list this, then obviously it's gonna fall flat on its face and it's gonna be a complete flop. But if they're gonna list after Ethereum breaks out with confirmation, then obviously it's gonna be a lot more. It's going to be a much better. It's going to be a much more successful listing, right? Like they're not going to list straight into. They're not going to list straight into a massive resistance for Ethereum. That would be stupid, right? So they're probably waiting for that. And yeah, they just keep on giving out these signs. So this one here, they got COCORO again. They've done tons of these videos. In this one, COCORO and Nero are digging out cans of COCORO out of the snow. So that's a blatant sign. And exchanges always do this, right? The last time I remember this is Casper, when it got listed on Kraken kept on, like, they kept doing hints. They put they did like a word search with Cass in the word search, and then they did some other ones as well. And then not long after that, they were doing it for a few months, and then, you know, after a few months they eventually listed Casper. So yeah, they kind of tease you. This is what exchanges, they always do it. I've noticed it a few times. So they're obviously doing this with COCORO. They're waiting for the right time, in my opinion. And yeah, this is another blatant sign. They've done loads of videos like this, obviously. And the previous video, similar to that one that they posted before the Coca-Cola one, is this one, where COCORO is wearing a rosette, okay? And recently, they did a vote to list campaign on HTX, and COCORO was obviously part of that. And then shortly after that, they uploaded this video with COCORO wearing a rosette, which obviously, who wears rosettes? Winners of competitions, okay? So another obvious sign to me. I mean, if this is all just a big tease, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, if they don't list it after all of this teasing, I don't know what to say, honestly. Like, they've got to do it. They've got to do it. Also, there's this coming up on the 24th of September, which is COCORO down here. They're co-organising this event along with Mew, Turbo, Bitcoin Dog, Brett, with Baby Doge and Shib, right? So they're co-organising this event with all of these coins, and Shib obviously is supporting COCORO on the old X that COCORO had. You know, Shib was following it, and Shib like posted about COCORO a few times. So obviously the COCORO main X account got taken down, which apparently they're still trying to get that back, and they've made a temporary new one for now. And maybe SHIB's gonna follow the new one if we don't get the other one back, then maybe SHIB's gonna follow the new one, you know. But apparently they are gonna get it back. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't see why they wouldn't get it back, because the reason it got taken is because somebody sent loads of bots. They sent loads of bot traffic to the account or something like that. You know, people from the Man U team or wherever, they sent like bot traffic to get the account taken down. You know, there's some stupid PvP stuff going on. So yeah, those guys are arseholes. But yeah, I don't see why they shouldn't get the old X account back. But if not, SHIB will probably follow the new page, because I don't see why they wouldn't. And they're going to an event with SHIB, so they're probably going to do some networking here, you know. And yeah, again, like, COCORO's tiny in comparison to all of these coins here, so this is pretty bullish. It's on the 24th of September, so this is pretty cool that this is happening. It's like good, like, networking thing, good collaboration. So yeah, HTX are probably just waiting for Ethereum to break all-time high with confirmation, right? Because it's risky to start listing meme coins if Ethereum is going to get rejected, right? It's not a good time for them to list meme coins. But if it breaks out, then it'll be a very good time for them to start listing meme coins, because the market will become more risk on at that point. And at the same time, they're probably waiting for a lot of JEETs to sell, right? So all the weak hands, all the paper hands, they're waiting for a lot of them to get out to sell as well. Because if you've got a lot of weak hands in this, and it does send higher, then they'll sell, and then they'll dilute the pump. And HTX obviously wants a bigger pump. Or any exchange that lists, they want a bigger pump, because it makes their exchange look good, right? Which makes people want to go use their exchange, for one, because people think that, oh, when a coin lists on HTX, it pumps, so I'll just join HTX, and then I'll just trade the new coins that they launch, and then they'll be good, right? So they want to look good. So they're probably waiting for JEETs to get the fuck out as well. So yeah, I'm hoping this doesn't go too much lower, because obviously I'm down almost, not far off 50% on this now, which is kind of annoying. But it is what it is. I knew that it was going to be a bumpy ride when I went into it, and I accepted the volatility. But yeah, like, surely it can't go much lower than this. I mean, if it does go lower, there is a chance. I think there is a chance, worst case scenario, it could come down here, 4 or 5 mil down in this range here, on top of this high here. That would be the worst case scenario, right? But I can't see it going. I can't really see it going. It's just too cheap. Like, surely people are just going to buy it up. Like, we're probably close to the bottom now. But I do have some stable coins on the side, just in case it does come down here, right? Because there is a risk of that, okay? So I'm prepared for that scenario. But hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it reverses soon. And again, you see the kind of green candles you can see on these low cap meme coins. They can literally just reverse, and they can just 10x, like, so fast. That's the price you pay for these. Like, if you want the crazy pumps that come with these meme coins, you kind of have to be able to stomach the volatility, right? And I mean, if this does follow in the same footsteps as Nero did, then it's going to take us somewhere like that. So that's the chart there. It's just completely flat. And yeah, if it does do the same thing as Nero, that's what the chart's going to look like, which would be a 200x from this point, pretty much. No guarantees it's going to do that. I mean, I probably wouldn't be holding that high. I'm probably going to cash out in pieces on the way up, you know, like just like maybe 10% at a time on the way up or something like that. But yeah, it could, you know, you could wake up one morning and it could be up like 40x, who knows. So that's the potential for these low cap meme coins, if you're willing to take the risk. So yeah, hopefully there's not too much more pain now. I'm hoping we're close to the bottom and we can see a reversal soon. We're just waiting for the overall market to become bullish, and we're waiting for a catalyst on COCORO basically as well. And we're waiting for this to find a bottom and to just consolidate sideways, which it is kind of flattening out now. It's not falling as fast, you know, it is kind of flattening out. So yeah, we'll see. I'm just diamond handing this shit at this point. So yeah, that's all for this video. Please drop a like if you got anything out of this video, and for good luck, obviously. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.